All right. You're a big deal of the day. Kanye West seen at the Balenciaga show in Paris with Candace Owens wearing shirts that say White Lives Matter. That is all you really need to know for an intro. Counselor Lindsay, you have the floor.
I'm going to throw it back at you.
Who?
Because obviously when you're Kanye West and you do anything, it's going to garner attention. Mm-hmm. Big attention. It's going to be trending. We haven't seen that.
I should say, it wasn't the Balenciaga show. It was the Yeezy Season 9 presentation in Paris.
Oh, so it was his own show.
It was his own show. So I'll go back into this. It wasn't Balenciaga show. I saw him in the Balenciaga. He looked like a transformer. But far be it from me to comment on fashion when it comes to him. I'll be wearing this shit every day. But it was the Yeezy Season 9 show where he wore this, so I should say. Sorry about that.
Yes. So anything Kanye West does is going to trend, especially because we haven't seen him as much. He's just now kind of coming back full force into media attention. But when Kanye West does something controversial, people are very quick to make excuses for it. And this is where I'm going to throw it back at you.
Sure.
People always want to say, oh, that's just Kanye West's genius.
Yeah.
That's just Kanye West being smarter than all y'all. He's got intention and purpose behind what he's doing, and it's bigger than just this.
Yes.
It's bigger than just the White Lives Matter shirt. It's bigger than Candace Owens standing next to him wearing a white shirt with black writing. He's wearing the black shirt with white writing. They're, side by side smiling at each other. Obviously, you have Candace Owens there. You're making a statement as well. For you, do you look at this as something that is genius / maybe performative, and that's just Kanye West? Or do you look at this as something that is extremely detrimental to the movement and the culture?
So I don't think that there is a movement.
Okay.
I think there was a movement. And
okay.
Now we're in between movements. I've talked about that. So let's run down a list of things here. Mm-hmm. So Kanye West wears a White Lives Matter shirt. You have people that say white lives do matter. Obviously, homeboy of mine said that on Instagram. You heard me.
Who are you talking to?
My
Can
man
you say
Jack.
it?
Yeah,
okay.
My man Jack. Jack doesn't care. Me and Jack were talking about that when I got here. So there's two parts. So, what is he being for? Isn't what he's saying true? White lives do matter. Boom. The second part is he's just trolling. He's just using this as performance art. He's just using this to draw attention to himself. Okay, so let's say that that's true.
Okay.
Let's say that Kanye West doesn't really mean what he's saying, and he's using it to draw attention to either the Yeezy Season 9 launch or himself in general. Let's say that that's true. Mm-hmm. But he doesn't really believe that in his heart.
Okay.
If that is the case, that's 150,000 times worse. Mm. So I just want people to understand what that would be saying. If in fact Kanye West, because let's look at what the White Lives Matter situation means. And I talked about this on Instagram, but I'll say it again. No one is saying that the average white life or the white life or a white life of a white person doesn't matter.
Right.
No one is saying that.
Right.
Nobody is saying that whatsoever. Black Lives Matter has nothing to do with the individual life. Black Lives Matter, not the organization that you guys can have your own critiques and your own opinions about. The slogan Black Lives Matter is an affirmation. It's a revolutionary affirmation in terms of our station here in America. It's saying, hey, we matter. You have to consider us before you kill us. You have to consider us before you legislate to us. You have to consider us before you speak about us. You have to consider us before you portray us. We matter. Mm-hmm. And the history in the United States is obviously at cross purposes to that. We've had no control over really how we were legislated to. We've had no control over the environmental conditions in our community. We haven't had no control over our lives or the pursuit of our happiness, and we've had no control over our economic conditions. Like, we haven't mattered because we've always been dictated to, right? Mm-hmm. So Black Lives Matter to me wasn't just about police killings. It was about like establishing the fact that we have a voice and we have power and we have agency in this country as well. So when people say white lives matter, what they're attempting to do, in my opinion, is to recenter white people in that conversation. It's to say that you don't get to have this conversation with America. You don't get to have this dialogue with America because you can't have a dialogue in America, Black people, that doesn't involve you navigating around white people. You can't talk to someone, right? We have to talk around somebody always. Black Lives Matter might not even be a statement that's a conversation between Black people and white America. That's a conversation that could be between Black people and other Black people to make them believe that we matter, to instill pride that we matter, and make you go to the mattresses about the fact that you do matter. So when you say white lives matter, what you're attempting to do is essentially white supremacist because you're depowering this other message. You're saying, hey, it's not about you, it's about us. And this is not even all lives matter. So let's make a distinction here. All lives matter is subversive in the same way, but at least it's saying, hey, you matter and we matter too. Right. It's subversive in the same way, don't get me wrong, but this is white lives matter. This is the flip side to Black Lives Matter. This is, forget about you guys. This is not a part, you're not a part of the conversation we're having right now. We want to move this conversation back to white people. My point, even when I was talking about the Bill Maher thing, is whenever Black people have had the conversation about themselves, America has always found a way to recenter white people, to recenter the people in their country, in their society, who they feel actually do matter, right? All right. So that's the shirt that Kanye West is wearing. Let's say he's wearing that shirt in some Kaufman-esque sort of expression of weirdness that doesn't really have to do with the sentiment, that has to do with making people pay attention to him and being subversive and, being avant-garde. What you're doing is you're fucking with Black people's emotions. You're hurting Black people for your entertainment and attention. There's nothing whiter than that. That's the peak of whiteness. Manipulating the emotions of Black people, manipulating their fear, manipulating their rage, manipulating their animus, manipulating them for the sole fact of making people pay attention to you, either to sell somebody something, which all of this is in the name of commerce, this is at a Yeezy Season 9 event, right? Either to sell them something or to distract them away from something. It's literally the whitest thing you can do, and is emblematic of the emotional and media terrorism that Black people have endured since they've been in this country. So I would actually have preferred that he actually meant this. So for people who saying he doesn't mean this, I'd actually prefer that he does. I'd actually prefer that he's like, hey, I feel like we live in a world where white people aren't getting enough attention. Because if that's the case, he's just stupid. But if he's doing this purposefully to antagonize, purposefully for attention, purposefully to troll Black people, then Kanye West isn't stupid. He's evil. It's an evil thing to do for no reason on a Monday, for niggas to have to wake up fucking mad. And how much of it are we going to take?
Everything you said is true. I don't care if it's genius or performative, because I do feel like it's detrimental, period. I think that you wearing a White Lives Matter shirt is extremely triggering to Black people. And to add to that, having Candace Owens stand by your side tells me everything that I need to know. It goes beyond him saying, oh, this is because my next question is he selling these shirts? They were wearing them. Do we know this?
I don't know.
He's wearing them. People were wearing them in the fashion show. He's wearing them. She's wearing them. Are you trying to sell this? That's even worse to me, because, and then the reason I use the word triggering, which is such a strong word, is because of everything that you just said and what it means when you wear that shirt. But then this isn't the first time that he's said something that is extremely problematic and hurts the very people that you look like. So when you do something like this, you put us down, and you're empowering a whole nother sector of society that really does feel like white lives matter. And when someone like Kanye West is wearing the shirt, you excuse that type of thought. That's the scariest thing to me, because now people are going to look at this and say, oh, well, Kanye West said white lives matter. Then what, Black lives matter, white lives matter. Like, obviously white lives do matter if someone like Kanye West, you know what I'm saying? That to me, especially where we are right now in our society, him wearing the White Lives Matter shirt is extremely purposeful and it is intentional. And to do it where we are right now in our society, I think says everything that we need to know about Kanye. And I will go ahead and say, I do think he's evil. How many times is he going to do stuff that's triggering and problematic to Black people, and you continue to excuse it as, not you, but just in general, excuse it as, oh, it's something else? No, after a while, you have to start believing that this is exactly who this person is. I don't care what the purpose is behind it. What you're doing is extremely damaging to Black people. And if it's going to put us down and empower them, I don't understand how else to look at it.
Yeah, so I think that this is probably more nuisance than it is damaging to me. I think Kanye West is becoming a pest.
It's beyond that to me.
I think that I understand what you're saying. A
pest to who?
A pest to fuck niggas like me. He's a pest. It's like, oh, Jesus Christ, like this motherfucker again. I think he's becoming a pest. There's just when we talk about things that are dangerous, I do believe it is the conceptually it is dangerous, it is evil, right? But I think it's probably less dangerous because I think he's such a buffoon type character that not many serious people take him seriously. I think having to hear what people on the right or specific young white kids who don't fucking have a clue about these things, those young Black kids either, I think it's probably more of a nuisance than it is something that's actually dangerous. I think when he was getting involved with the Trump thing and all of that stuff, that was actually dangerous because Donald Trump has the ability to make an impact on so many people's lives and to run America into the ground because he was the president. So I think that was actually dangerous. I think a lot of these antics now they just show to me that he doesn't really have a real connection with the Black community. He is disconnected. When I say the Black community, I mean not so much the large diaspora of thought that represents Blackness. I'm saying the average Black person that I know don't want to hear no White Lives Matter shit.
Sure.
And maybe there is a whole contingent of niggas somewhere that when we're talking about what we need, go, hey, shit, but what about white people? We got to consider them. You know what I'm saying?
I think there's a lot of younger people who are like that.
I don't know those younger people. Maybe either I'm an old nigga or I'm just not in the Uncle Tom section of Pavilions and Ralph's. But what I will say is that I just don't know when we start letting people fuck with us like this. Like parts of Black America are in a Tristan Thompson, Khloe Kardashian relationship with Kanye West, to where this nigga keeps doing the same shit over and over and over again, and you just keep hoping that he changes or hoping that you get the old one back. But just like Khloe said, like she was cheated on so much that she said it was fucking with her brain.
Look at you.
And to me, I think that Kanye West is abusing Black people for the sake of attention, for the sake of profit, and he's fucking with some of our collective psyche. He's making us litigate things that we already know, and he's making us have pointless conversations like the one we're having right now.
Is it pointless though if there are going to be if we see a bunch of people wearing season 9 Yeezy White Lives Matter, is he just fucking with us? When you say a pest to me is Lil Wayne acting like he doesn't know what Black Lives Matter is and is like, well, why would we say, like, have you seen how much money I make? Or Ray J taking a picture with Trump, or, you know what I mean? Like, that's pest behavior to me.
Ray J into
Sorry, it's true. It's factual.
It's factual. Yeah.
That's pest behavior to me.
Mm-hmm.
What Kanye has done has happened over an abusive relationship, as you just said. It's over and over and over again. There is intention behind it, whatever your intention is, knowing, and you know what's going to be on the other side of it. You know how Black people are going to react to it. You know how harmful and hurtful it is to Black people, especially people who do have hope that one day he's going to be different and one day he's going to change. And then you do something like this with Candace Owens standing right next to you.
Yeah.
For profit, for gain, like you're putting down Black people for profit for yourself. How is that not evil?
He's triggering people emotionally.
Black people
emotionally for the sake of his own personal wealth.
That's evil.
It is evil. I said before, it's evil. Time will tell how consequential it is, how much this actually matters. That's all I'm saying. What I would like to do more than anything, because I understand this, what I'm trying to say is I would like us to break free from caring. And we've tried to do that on this podcast, and we failed it. We failed the podcast.
And I'm at fault because I want to bring it up and I want to talk about it.
But but it's not your fault. We have to talk about it, right? Mm-hmm. It's our job. I would like us to break free, guys. He's gone, and not only is he's gone, but he been gone. This is not the first time we've had to do this. This is not the first time we've had to let somebody go. We've let plenty of people go. We've let them go. Just let them go.
You know what I think gives people hope is between this moment when he left social media, when he went to rehab, I believe that's where he went, to now, in between, he was saying a lot of stuff that sounded pro-Black.
What, when he was in the fight with Adidas? What was he saying?
No,
I don't remember.
When he was like posting pictures of people and he didn't want his kids to have a certain education. And he was talking about, like Kim and the family, and everything he was saying was like about Blackness. I'm not saying I agree with this. I just think that there's some people who are like, okay, he's come back. He's pro-Black. He wants his children to make sure his children don't lose their Blackness and what they're doing. That's the kind of message he was putting out. And then he does this. Yeah. And that's why I think it messes with people. But
look, you guys get robust on this. Talk your shit. You guys, think about it. But really, try to divorce. The hardest thing to do is try to divorce emotion from what it is that Yeezy does. He's fucking with us either he's stupid or evil. We don't have time for either. We don't. True. And to your point, I'm not going to say that it's not dangerous. I'm not going to say that. You have a point there. But I'm going to say we've known that it's been dangerous for years. It's been 4 years since he came to TMZ.
I know.
It's been it's been 4 years since he's come to TMZ. He's gone White Lives Matter. He's gone at Harriet Tubman. It's been 4 years since that. Harriet. You know what I mean? You forgot about the Harriet Tubman thing. It's like by the way, this is Ye. Don't blame don't do the thing where you hit up fucking people around Ye and go, yo, is this your friend? Because I know firsthand that the people around Kanye West feel as powerless as a lot of people in the culture. It's somebody that they've known for a long time, somebody that they've tried to be around, it's somebody that they've tried to talk to. They don't want to let them go completely, but they don't condone the things. I know people around him, man. I know people in the circle.
I know you do. I know you do.
I would hate for them to be blamed because...
No, he's got to take responsibility for himself. This is all on Kanye.
It's crazy.